Hello, I'm Manny,
And I'm Jesse.
and we're from the Restaurant University. In this video, we're going to take you step by step how to take care of a guest and how to write down orders and tickets.
We'll see you in school.
See you out. So this is just a quick bullet points. Greet and seat, which is exactly how it sounds. Greet the guests when they come in, sit them down to their seat. After that, drinks, chips, and salsa. Other restaurants might have other appetizers that they give for free, like some places give like bread or whatever. Mexican restaurants are usually known for the chips and salsa, so make sure they get their chips and salsa. Ask for their drinks. After that, offer any appetizers. Most commonly would be like cheese dip, guacamole, cherry queso, anything, whatever your place got. Offer that. After that, you're ready to take the order. It's a food order, which we will show later in the video how to write out the orders. And then after that, once the food is done and they're ready, they're eating, and they're finished up, offer a dessert. And then if they take the dessert, then, bring them the dessert. And then after that, the ticket, and then you're done. So that's like the fast bullet points. And then from this video, we'll go more into depth of how to actually get that process and do it through. So, all right, guys. So we'll start off. We're gonna give like basically like a small, quick rundown of the process of what's gonna happen whenever you're expecting a guest and whenever you see a guest, greet a guest, everything. Afterwards, we'll go inside and then we'll give a full on example of what it is. But I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. Right. First thing, whenever the guest comes in, obviously greet them. Say hi, how are you doing? My name is da da da. I would say, hey, my name's Manny. I'm gonna be taking care of y'all today, or nice to see y'all again. Um, you'll say something like that, your little greeting, and depending on how your restaurant is, some restaurants have a host, and the host will do like the initial greet and then take them to their table and sit them down. In the smaller restaurants, sometimes they don't have a host. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But so the host will take them down. They'll come and they'll sit down. Most Mexican restaurants serve chips and salsa right whenever the guest is sitting down. So a lot of times places they use their I call it a chipper, but you can call it whatever you want. Sometimes people use that as their host slash also the person that brings like the appetizers like that. So um, whenever the guest comes in, they'll grab their seat, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we are, we're just coming in," stuff like that. So then your chipper should be like pretty much on it to bring in chips and salsa as soon as they come in. As soon as they sit down, they're going to be expecting the chips and salsa because that's how it is at every Mexican restaurant. Um, then behind the chipper, or sometimes before if you're fast, but behind the chipper you come and you greet them. Hi, my name is Manny. I'm going to be taking care of y'all today. Can I offer you anything to drink? Or what can I get you to drink? Are you thirsty? Make a joke, whatever you want. You know what I mean? But just greet them. They're gonna say hey. Da, da, da. Get the drink order. I like to um I like to like try to have the drinks as fast as possible. Just because whenever like a guest has a drink in front of them, they're more relaxed. Like if like for example, if you went into a restaurant before and then like nobody comes to your table for a while, sometimes people are in a hurry, and then other times like people are hangry, which is okay because like you haven't eaten. That's why you're at a restaurant. You're there to eat. So sometimes you're really thirsty. Sometimes you're parched. You know what I mean?
We want to get them a Coke, start restoring
Yeah,
that blood sugar as soon as
exactly,
possible to
exactly,
improve our
exactly.
customer experience.
Yeah, for the customer experience, and just as a server, from my experience as well, like um, if you get them their drink really quickly, say you're really busy, you have like a few tables that you're working at the same time. If you get the new table their drinks kind of fast, they're more forgiving if you need some more time before you can go to take their order. They'll have something to sip on. They got the chip and salsa, so they're chilling. You're basically buying extra time if you're busy and you need more time, you're buying extra time the faster you can get the drinks. So um, and that's important. So then, okay, once you get the drinks to them, uh, like, oh, can I offer you guys any appetizers, any cheese dip, guacamole? In my experience, um, it's better not to even say like, oh, can I offer you this? Just be like, you want a cheese dip? You want a guacamole? Um, and a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, okay. If they say yes, I would like the cheese dip. That's already one yes. But then you can lay it on them again. They're like, hey, like okay. So for example, they're like, okay, I'm gonna just say it like this. Okay, so like, oh, would you like a cheese dip?
Well, yes.
Yeah. You want a big one?
Oh, absolutely. That sounds delicious.
Instead of saying, would you like a small or large? Just go ahead and be like, oh, you want a big one? That's like
That's good.
it worked for me. It worked. It's like 6 out of 10% of the time. Like 6 out of 10, they're gonna be like, yeah, big one. And that's just another little extra thing because the higher that you make the ticket, the more tip that somebody's gonna feel like they're obligated to pay.
That's good upselling strategy. And I
Yeah,
did not know that.
yeah, and
That's gold right there, bro.
that's gold. And also just it's for the restaurant itself, and then also for the server as well because like the bigger the ticket, there if you have like a $30 ticket, they're gonna feel kind of weird leaving like $1, $2. You know what I mean? But if you have like like say it's a family and like it's like an $80 ticket, they're gonna leave. They're gonna feel weird if they leave like $5.
It's not a magic bullet to say, would you like a large instead of do you want a smaller or large? But I think in the flow of a pleasant, comfortable customer experience, if somebody's already feeling good, you're just you're facilitating them giving you a yes by to the bigger check, the bigger tip by offering them the large for sure.
For sure.
That agrees with my experience a lot,
Yeah, for sure. And it's always and it's good.
and I feel like I'm being upsold to less actually by that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a sale.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you want a big one? Or like same thing. Like for example, if on the drinks they're like, oh, like can I have a margarita? Like oh, you want a big one? Or like oh, can I have a draft beer? Like oh, you want a big one? So it doesn't sound like you're trying to sell them more. It's
So
like
somebody that's watching their budget, they're gonna say no, and
yeah,
that's okay. You smoother, it's not of course,
yeah,
but yeah, makes it a lot easier to say yes to the big one if you just say big one.
yeah, like
Would you
yeah,
like a large?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, like make it don't make it not feel like you're selling to them. Obviously you are, but at the same time, like you're there to like hang out with them. Basically, that's what they're doing. It's not like a regular store scenario. Like where they go in specifically get something, they only have a checkout and then leave. It's like they're basically coming hanging out with you. They're gonna enjoy their experience if you're good.
You're being respectful to me by assuming I've got the cash to come and have a nice dinner, and you're making me feel like you want to feed me good,
Yeah, exactly. And
feed me well.
everybody likes to feel like a king. Okay, so now after you get the cheese dip, the drinks, or whatever appetizer they choose, I just go with cheese dip just for the sake of the video. Then we get to the food order.
Hey, I'm Jesse, and I just want to take a moment to shout out our newest subscriber, Joseph, at the Restaurant University on the SKOOL app. Thanks for subscribing, Joseph, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And everybody else, don't forget to share, subscribe, and like at the Restaurant University on the SKOOL app.
See you in school. This is going to be based off the Web3 Mexican Grill menu located at 239 Spring Street. But this is going to be basically every single Mexican restaurant that you will ever work at. It does not have to be Web3. Obviously, everybody's menu is a little bit different, but this is how every single person writes their order tickets down if they're using a book. I recommend using a book. Some people use computers, but I like the book better. Just easier, faster, in my opinion.
What if the power goes out?
Exactly. If the power goes out, then you're going to need a book anyway. So just use the book. Obviously, use a computer to like actually charge people, but book for taking the orders, best thing. That's whenever the list comes into play. Again, I'll just show right there real quickly. Right there. Okay, so say, you get to there and they're like, oh, I want a chicken fajita, you know. Fajitas are normally always going to be like a grilled meat. So basically, you'll say, oh, okay, what kind of meat you like? We have like chicken, steak, shrimp. A lot of times people will just say, oh, I want a chicken fajita because they already know what they want. You know what I mean? So you'll be able to write that down. For example, you'll just reference the list that you have on your book. And then once you have it in your mind, you won't need to write it down. But just for the sake of the video, you would put fajita, F-A-J, and then P-G. Fajita, grilled chicken. And then boom, you have that order written down. So for example, I'll write that again right here. It'll look like this. Fajita, chicken. It'll look just like that. And it doesn't matter if it crosses the lines on here because on the yellow ticket it doesn't have any lines. So yeah. Okay. And then a really popular thing as well are like quesadillas. So you would write, say they're like, oh, I want a grilled chicken quesadilla, quesadilla, pollo, grilled. Looks just like that. Okay, now this is not on the little list I just showed you right now, but it's really popular. If you're watching this video and you like Mexican food, you're already gonna know what I'm talking about. But the staples, the chicken cheesy rice, or steak cheesy rice, or whatever meat of your choice, and then cheesy rice, with the cheese on it. Basically, what you'll do is put whatever meat right here. I'm gonna put it for the chicken cheesy rice. So you put the meat, a dash, and then Q for queso. They'll already know, so it'll be like that. Different from a quesadilla. If it's a quesadilla, you put the Q first. If you do like this, the meat, the line, and then a Q, they're gonna know that it's like
The slash is the
chicken.
cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, the slash. Yeah, it's like the
Chicken cheesy,
chicken cheesy rice.
chicken slash queso, chicken cheesy rice. Cool.
And that's how everybody does it in every single Mexican restaurant that I've ever worked at. And I know because I've worked at about 13 of them. All right. Then plus obviously the ones that we are running now.
It's a slash because it's a staple. It's so common.
Exactly.
Common shorthand.
All right. And then, okay, so you got the order up. You go and hang it up. Normally, you see how I have this written right here. The drinks you'll put at the bottom. So Coke. You know what I mean? And then also like the little appetizers like cheese dip, guacamole. Our person got a large cheese because we told them that they wanted a big one and they said yes. So you put it just like that. Q, LQ. Or however you can remember it. It doesn't really, really matter, but that's how I would do it. Just because in case you're not the person that's typing up the ticket, somebody else is doing it. It's just easy if everybody's on the same page. So there's that. After the order is done, you know what I mean? They're eating, make sure that their drinks are good, you know what I mean? In my experience, a lot of times if you go to like a table and you're like, "Hey, is everything okay?" they're gonna say yeah, even if they're thinking about like, "Oh, I need some more Coke" or like something like that. Sometimes if it's real low, they'll tell you, but sometimes in a weird way, like you gotta basically tell them what they need, like for the chips and salsa, you know what I mean? If it's low, if they're low on chips, you know what I mean? Just go be like, "Hey, you want some more chips?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah," or like, "Hey," like say their margarita is down, you know what I mean? They're about to run out of margarita. Instead of going and be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" and then seeing if they're gonna tell you if they want another margarita, just go ahead and be like, "Hey, you want another margarita?" Because
Anticipating needs.
anticipating the need. Exactly.
It's a big part of a good server
Yeah, exactly.
experience
Yeah,
technique.
and a lot of times these things you can see from afar. Like you don't have to like be right upon them. Like I said, like you can see from afar if their soda's getting low and stuff like that. Um, if you know this guest already is gonna already ask you for another one, you can even just go ahead and bring them another one.
Yeah.
And just they'll be like, "Oh,
it's pretty
thank you."
familiar.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what you want.
yeah. You want them to go ahead and do like that, or like maybe if it's like at the very end of the ticket, they're about to leave, then maybe like, "Oh, you want a to go one?" Instead of like go ahead and filling one up, because sometimes they'll say no. But
That distance is a good point too, because we're talking about taking you through one customer. You're going to have more than one table, so you're going to have a spot where you can survey all your section and look and see who needs attention next and prioritize.
exactly. And like I said,
You only got two hands.
you only got two hands, and the prioritizing is good. And like I said on earlier, if you have like a lot of tables at one time, and you just got a new one, but you still got to take the orders of these other people. If you can get the drinks to that new table really quickly, they're chilling for a while. They're chilling. They're gonna be happy. They're not really there to talk with you. They're there to talk with whoever they're with. So like they'll be distracted is what I'm trying to say.
They'll get back in their conversation.
Yeah,
You've reset their timer when you bring them the drinks.
Exactly. It'll buy you some time for sure. After the food is done, they're about to leave and stuff like that. I recommend picking up plates as they're finished with them instead of leaving them to sit at the very end, because like once the plate is out of the way, then they can even more relax, more, they can put their arms on the table again, stuff like that. Um, as they're about to leave, though, at the very end, just offer dessert. Some people can be like, oh, a lot of common ones are like uh, chocolate chimichanga or fried ice cream. Those are like Mexican restaurant staples. One that we have is called the ice cream taco. Those are really, really popular. I'll make a separate little video of that next time. But
I like a sopapilla.
and sopapillas are good too. Sopapillas, they're easy to make. You know what I mean? So it's like easy,
It's fried
easy to
tortilla,
prep.
isn't it?
Yeah, fried tortilla, some sugar and stuff like that. Ice cream, boom. You know, and then like their sauce, whatever their kind of sauce. Once they accept or don't accept the what's it called the dessert, then from there, you just make the ticket, bring it to them. Some places will like be able to they'll be able to charge you like straight from the table. Like the server can take it to the front, and then like you bring them back the ticket for them to sign if it's a card or if it's cash. Bring the cash back. That kind of stuff. But that's basically the whole steps of what it is. Every single Mexican restaurant basically is gonna have burritos, enchiladas, quesadillas, tacos, taco salads, fajitas, um, and like I said, other places will have like varying. The menus will vary kind of, but these are going to be the basics. I'm going to show you exactly the basics. For example, this is a cheat sheet that I would recommend writing down on your book. Hopefully, it's not too blurry. And if it is later, I'll put it down below as well in the video. All right, so we'll just dive right into it. For example, this is going to be like a shorthand way to write your tickets. That way, you don't have to obviously like write out the whole words and stuff like that. There's a few different things that you'll have to know, and you can reference the list as well. Um, Most Mexican restaurants are only going to have like a few certain kinds of meats: ground beef, shredded chicken, grilled chicken, steak, and shrimp. And then, sometimes they add other ones like chorizo and stuff like that. I'll go ahead and write that just in case. Chorizo, and other random things, but those are going to be usually the main staples that you can make basically every single thing with, right?
Well, just one today. Sounds real good. Good. Great. And yeah, I would have the chicken quesadilla and a side of fries. It looks real good. Absolutely. Hey, I'm Jesse, and I just want to take a moment to shout out our newest subscriber, Joseph, at the Restaurant University on the SKOOL app. Thanks for subscribing, Joseph, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And everybody else, don't forget to share, subscribe, and like at the Restaurant University on the SKOOL app.
See you in school.